The fluorescent lights of the Albuquerque Community Center buzzed above me as my aunt and uncle hoisted a glass to my cousin Sophia, their prodigy artist, at her first solo gallery opening. The room was packed with our extended family, local art critics, and even a few professors from the University of New Mexico's Fine Arts program. A banner read, "Sophia Bennett, Rising Star." My name, Noah, was nowhere, though I'd won the New Mexico State Art Competition just months earlier. "Sophia needs the spotlight, dear," my aunt had said when they announced they'd pay for her art school tuition but not mine. "You're so independent." The words cut deeper than the rejection itself. They'd promised to support my dreams, then handed them to Sophia on a silver easel. Growing up in Santa Fe, Sophia was the family's darling, her every sketch framed and hung in my aunt and uncle's sprawling adobe home. I was the quiet one, spending hours in my garage studio, mixing pigments and studying light. When I was 16, I sold my first painting at a local fair for $500, a landscape of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains that a gallery owner called hauntingly precise. Sophia's work, bold, abstract splashes, was praised as genius by our family, though she rarely finished a piece. When we both entered the state competition, I spent months perfecting my submission, a photorealistic portrait of a Navajo elder. Sophia threw together an abstract piece in a weekend. I won first place, she got an honorable mention. Yet, at the family dinner after, my uncle toasted Sophia's potential, while my win got a pat on the back. "You'll figure it out, Noah," he said, as if my victory was just luck. The real betrayal came when my aunt and uncle, who'd raised me since my parents died in a car accident when I was 10, sat me down in their sunlit kitchen. "We're paying for Sophia's tuition at UNM's art program," my aunt said, avoiding my gaze. "She needs the structure to thrive." I stared, my portfolio from the competition still on the table. "What about me? You said you'd help us both." My uncle shrugged. "Sophia's more fragile, Noah. You're tough. You'll find a way." A way meant $40,000 in student loans I'd taken out to start at UNM. While Sophia's tuition was covered, her supplies bought, her rent paid. They even bought her a new SUV to get to classes safely. I got a used bike and a keep up the good work. Sophia's gallery opening was the tipping point. My aunt and uncle had rented the space, invited critics, and framed Sophia's half-finished abstracts like masterpieces. I'd helped hang the pieces, my own work absent because, as my aunt put it, "This is Sophia's moment." My moment, winning the state competition, had passed without a single family celebration. But I wasn't there to sulk. I'd been working on something bigger, something they'd never see coming. Over the past year, I'd caught the eye of Marcus Vega, a renowned Santa Fe gallery owner who'd seen my competition piece. He'd mentored me quietly, introducing me to collectors and teaching me how to market my work. I spent nights in my cramped dorm room creating a series of paintings, portraits of New Mexico, overlooked communities, from migrant workers to elderly artisans. Marcus had secured a solo exhibition for me at his prestigious gallery, timed for the week after Sophia's event. More importantly, I'd negotiated a deal, a $10,000 commission for a private collector, enough to cover a year of my tuition. My family didn't know. They thought I was still scraping by, independent as always. At the opening, Sophia basked in the attention, her abstracts drawing polite claps. My aunt and uncle beamed, introducing her to a UNM professor who called her work promising. I stood by the refreshment table, my navy sweater blending into the background when Marcus arrived. He pulled me aside, his eyes gleaming. "Ready for tomorrow?" he whispered. I nodded, my pulse quickening. Tomorrow was my exhibition, but I had a surprise for tonight. As my uncle took the mic to praise Sophia's unique vision, I stepped forward, heart pounding. "Can I say something?" I asked, my voice steady. My aunt frowned, but the crowd turned to me. "I'm proud of Sophia," I began, but I think it's time to share some news. My work, which won the state competition, has earned me a solo exhibition at Vega Gallery. It opens tomorrow, and I've already sold a piece for $10,000, enough to fund my education without burdening anyone. The room went silent, then erupted in murmurs. My aunt's face paled. My uncle's jaw tightened. Also, I continued, Marcus Vega has connected me with collectors who want to commission more. My series on New Mexico's unsung heroes is already booked for a national tour. The applause was electric, louder than anything Sophia had received. Critics approached, asking about my show. A UNM professor handed me his card, saying, "We need to talk about your future." My aunt and uncle stood frozen, their narrative of Sophia as the family's artist crumbling. Sophia, to her credit, looked stunned but not angry. She hugged me later, whispering, "I didn't know, Noah. I'm so proud." I believed her. She hadn't asked for their favoritism. After the event, my aunt cornered me. "Why didn't you tell us?" she demanded, her voice shaking. "You made us look like fools." I met her eyes. "You didn't care about my work. You chose Sophia every time. I found my own way." My uncle stammered, "We thought you were fine on your own." I shook my head. I was, and now I am. The next day, my exhibition opened to a packed gallery. Collectors bid on my paintings, and Marcus announced a scholarship in my name for young artists from underserved communities. My aunt and uncle showed up, clutching a small gift, a sketchbook, like the one they'd given Sophia years ago. "We're proud," my aunt said weakly. I took the sketchbook but didn't smile. "Thanks," I said, turning to greet a collector. Their approval no longer mattered. My art, my future, was mine.